My name is Jean Boucher, Dr. Jean Boucher. I'm an environmental sociologist. I do research at the James Hutton Institute. I'm also something of a specialist in environmental justice. I've done some work in energy transition and energy transition management. And I'd like to start with a story of an African missionary who was being transferred, and the morning of his transfer, an old woman showed up at his door to give him 30 cents. And he remembered he had visited her when she was sick the year before. And he looked at the 30 cents and he thought, I'll give it back to her and more, I'll add to it. And he thought, no, she wants to show reciprocity for the gift I gave her. I'll receive her gift. There's a growing research in the social sciences, and it's called a culture of care. And how do we care? How do we care for each other? How do we care for our environments? When do we care? How do we care? In the context here, you've heard a lot of comments, and Torry seems to be the gift that just keeps giving. You've heard about the incinerator. I'm not going to go off on how it's becoming an industrial place and the 13 years of life difference, the taking of the bay, and now there's the park. So I don't know, when does this stop? We have a term in the United States, it's called sacrifice zone, and let's just be straight up. If Torry's going to become a sacrifice zone for Aberdeen, then name it. Put a warning. If you live here, you might, have a little loss of your life. We're aware of the Scottish Index of Multiple Deprivation. You've probably seen the maps, and you're aware of how the spread is, and the environmental impact, the same thing. There's this word that we throw around, it's called opportunity. And I'm a bit dismayed that we've all sort of bought into it and we use it. It's an old planning term that leads back into the last century, and historically it has not quite been able to cleanse itself of gentrification and colonial thought. Colonial thought is extractive. It comes in and does what it wants. It's kind of the opposite of participation. And let me be clear here. This here right now, for me, this is not participation. I have a PhD, and yet I'm nervous. I didn't sleep well last night. Somebody in Torry who has 2 jobs, 3 kids, he's probably working right now, who can come here at 11 o'clock on a Thursday and speak up, who's not familiar with this culture of how do you participate in this kind of governance. They've been depoliticized, disenfranchised. They're not part of this decision, but these things happen to them. And I've done door knocking in Torry, and they tell me I'm wasting my time. These things happen to us. There's nothing we can do. We fight, and this is how things turn out. When we create change, there's winners and there's losers. This transition is going to create winners and losers. And the winners are lining up to make money. People are going to stand to make a lot of money. I'm not against transition. We need a transition. It'd be lovely to see the northeast of Scotland be a world leader. But why in Aberdeen? Why Torry? Why would you take a park from a poor community? Anybody who studies environmental justice or works in transition theory is just absurd. It's a lack of imagination, a lack of creativity. It's not inspired. I'm not sure if you know that Scotland is one of only 4 countries that signed on to a well-being economy. And I don't think, maybe Holyrood doesn't check in with Aberdeen when they make these kinds of decisions, but this is not aligned with a well-being economy. Let's maybe straighten things out. Martin Luther King, some decades ago, said that the arc of history tends toward justice. And then Barack Obama made a little, correction there, or addendum, and he said, well, not by itself. So I'm here to ask, what's going on? This is history happening right here. I think I'm helping to tend the arc toward justice. And what are the rest of us doing? Have we resigned to some master plan of colonial thought? Are we expecting more and more from Torry? I object to the plan. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Boucher. Thanks for your attendance.